Hello, everyone. So the election of the president pretty much is coming up very soon. Literally November, would you believe? We're nearly at the end of August, just to say. So time is flying. Let's put it that way. So it was very interesting to see Fine Gael's candidate, Marie McGuinness. Obviously, she couldn't give a damn about Ireland. She's been in Europe all the time. Pretty much has sold Ireland as much as she could humanly possibly sell down the river to the European Union. She is, not seeking the hours because on health grounds, etc., etc. And obviously, we wish her well. Nobody wishes any ill will on anybody, particularly if they're sick or if they're ill or have an illness or whatever the story may be. We wish her well on that, but she's not seeking the election to always looked on. Now, it would be funny to see who's going to be the Fine Gael candidate. This is the next thing. So there's talk at the moment, and this is the reason why, about Heather Humphreys, that my local TD used to be my local TD, local minister here in Cavan Monaghan. And she said a few months ago when she was signed to a seat that she wasn't fit to be a TD, etc., etc. And she's going to leave before 65 because, and a lot of only Irish people have to walk to 65, and now they want to walk to 70 if they can, if you can. And she was able to one off with a big pension, etc., etc. And now she's saying I want the one for the presidency. It's very hypocritical if you ask me if she does go for it. But we see what's the story there. But presumably you probably will be Heather Humphreys. I don't know about Sean Kelly. People were saying about Sean Kelly too, the MEP, another MEP. There's another fellow that's no good, that done nothing for us in Europe. So all of them pretty useless. No good people. And Fine Gael, if we don't get the pot forward. No, we're not even go close. We're not even top with Simon Harris at the moment about all the fucking shenanigans he's up to. Because Fine Gael is just a disgrace. The same with the majority of the parties in the door. They're all a disgrace. They're all anti-Irish. They all hate. They hate the foundations of the state. They just want to destroy it as much as they can, and now doing it to a certain degree. But long story short, we see who's going to be the candidate. In my opinion, I didn't foresee that Marie McGuinness would be falling out. She pretty much had the backing of everybody in Fine Gael, so there was no really suggesting that she would not. She probably would have got the presidency. That's the thing, because a lot of polls were showing that she was very popular. So the moment the time the only person who's really on the ballot at the moment, that's guaranteed to be on the ballot, we see with other people, obviously there'll be more in the weeks ahead, is Catherine Connolly, the Cam Cola, the less Cam Cola. Obviously an independent, just to say too, but obviously it's the back and the Labour Party, the Social Democrats, and People Before Profit to dig too. We still don't know about Sinn Féin. Sinn Féin probably put the one candidate forward. Probably, I don't know whether it be Jerry Adams, could be Mary Lou McDonald either. We see what's the story. But long story short, whoever votes for Sinn Féin, I don't know what to say to you. But Sinn Féin are not the answers, of course. And then we have a few independents throwing their hats into the ring, and particularly what to talk about too. Just on them here, but this Garrett Sheridan, a big Pfizer, a big pharmaceutical company he owns. He's a CEO in a pharmaceutical company. Very honest people, these pharmaceutical companies, as you know. Spent half of his life in America more than in Ireland. And wants to be Uachtar Árni Héireann, the president of Ireland, even though it's very suspicious, and there's some things about him very suspicious, very sus, to be totally honest with you. And particularly because, again, as you know, these pharmaceutical companies couldn't give a damn about people's health. They only care about the money. That's all they care about. Let's put it straight. So, and I don't know about having somebody like that as Uachtar Árni Héireann, but not even that too. It's very suspicious how the media. I never heard of it before. Be totally never heard of him. Until he came up with the presidency. And all of a sudden the media, every organisation in the country, the local media, they're all pushing this man as much as they can. Like he's the saviour of the country, pretty much. That's what the media's narrative is, that this man will save the country. So I don't know, and particularly some of the stuff I've heard from him on different topics and stuff like that is not really showing, because he pretty much wants to sit in the middle and say nothing. That's pretty much his line. Sit in the middle and say nothing. I don't want to take a firm stance on anything. God knows we can't do that. So we see what's the story with him, but very, very sus. Not likely he get my vote, unless he literally ups his game now in the next few weeks. But even at that, there's some other stuff I just don't like of him, to be totally honest with you. And because pretty much he's not really planning, he wants to bring people together. That's what I've heard from him 3 or 4 times. But at the same time, he's not suggesting what he's going to do, because as Uachtar Árni Héireann, you can't really do much to bring anybody together. Because the only way you can bring anybody together is to have a party in the office. That's the only thing you can really do. You can't really do anything else, pretty much. There's no legislation. There's nothing he can do to make people come together. because, as we know, the whole country's being destroyed by the government. There's nothing you can do. The only way to get rid of people and to get people together is if you throw out the government. But he can't do that. The Irish constitution doesn't let him just suspend the government and rule as one president or something like that. He can't do that. The Irish constitution is very specific on that the powers are separated. But we see. I suppose it's another thing we suppose we watch. But we do. It's hard to know where they get the backing of local authorities or TDs. Not likely. I know the independent senator Sharon Sheridan was bring him around the block to see local independent councillors and stuff. But obviously then he slated them online too about different opinions and stuff, misgendering people and stuff like that. So great stuff. But yeah, we see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting election because we still don't know what Fianna Fáil. There was a poll done. Just the last thing I say. There was a poll done recently enough within Fianna Fáil. Fianna Fáil, you have to keep a straight face when you're talking about this because Fianna Fáil themselves have disgraced themselves, long before these times, but disgraced themselves, the odd disgrace to be totally honest. But yeah, they're suggesting Bertie O'Haran, and you have to kind of sit there with a straight face because the money was just wasting my account before I moved it on. I had no bank account, etc. One of on the horses, etc. What can you really say? Nothing has ever changed because, you take any reasonable country and be like, we won't want this person anywhere near the office of the president, but yeah, we're going to put him in probably. We see what happens, but it just tells you everything you need to know. And you really have to laugh. You can either laugh or cry, but in this case, you have to laugh about it because it's just all fucking stupid. Excuse my language, but it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's like Clown World 2.0. Because it's just ridiculous. Like, you just have to laugh all the time for this kind of carry on. Because if you didn't laugh, you cry. If you totally honest, I don't know which one to do, laugh or cry. But it's better to laugh at them than cry at them, to be totally honest. But anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. Let me know what you take. Who do you take and make a good president? And who you're going to vote for, I suppose, too. Because at the end of the day, if you disagree with me, you want to vote for whoever. Catherine Connolly, whoever. That's your opinion. That's your right. But I'm just saying none of them really have your interests at heart in a lot of cases. Particularly the mainstream political parties, they don't give a damn. That's what and not even to mention the person has limited powers on what they can do. But anyway, let me know what you think. Subscribe for more and bye.